everybody, this is Christine Bertram, and I'm coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin on a Monday night. Happy Monday, everybody. The reason we're live on Monday is because it is Thanksgiving on Thursday, and I will not be live on Thursday, so we moved ink, paper, scissors, or we intentionally planned for ink, paper, scissors to be on Thursday night. Monday night. Oh, here we are. Oh my gosh. How did that happen? I don't even know how I hit buttons, but I'm here. And I found myself. Hi, Penny. Hi, Susie Stocks. So we're going to make some gingerbread and peppermint cards tonight, you guys. So it's Monday night. It's not Thursday. And we intentionally planned to do the live tonight instead of Thursday. So you guys... Hi, Deb Norman. So what we're going to do on Thursday for you, though, is, hi, Bonnie Kelly. We're going to go back, and I think I picked out a video from last year that is still featuring current Stampin' Up! Stamp sets. I don't know about the paper, not so much, but like the consumables. But the stamp set and dies got rolled over into the annual catalog. So I think I'm going to play that video for you guys to help with the Christmas card inspiration. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Deanne. Hi, Marsha. Hi, Karen. Woohoo, you guys are all rolling in. There's Carmen and Lynn Beasley. Woohoo. So, hi, Julie. It's different being live on a Monday and making cards with you. Normally, my Mondays are my mystery card night with you guys. So, hi, Barbara Gabi. So, it's crazy to think that the end of the Stampin' Up! Mini catalog is coming to be in front of us. Hi, Jewel. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Julie. But it's crazy. They just published the last chance list, and it's available. You can pre-scope things out. Hi, Diane. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Marsha. So you can pre-scope things out. The sale starts on December 1st. Okay, so I know we just had a sale with the annual catalog, which is great. We could get some discounts. Hi, Brenda Wood. We could get some discounts on some cardstock and ink pads and dies. So now the holiday mini catalog has some things that are going to be retiring, but they also have some things that are carrying over. So I want to flip down. You guys will not be able to read this document, but I wanted to show you where I saved it. I'm also going to be emailing it. If you're not in my email, like if you're not currently getting emails from me and you want to be, like to get these kind of files emailed to you versus having to go hunt for them, you should send me an email. When my camera flips down, you can copy my email address and just shoot me a quick email so we can get you added to my email group. Hi, Nancy Charles. Hi, Arliss. Hi, Sue. Arliss, I will be updating your email address per your request. I haven't done it yet, but I will be. So I'm going to flip the camera down and show you guys what's going on. So what they'll do is, you guys, I know you cannot read this whatsoever, but you can probably read it says last chance at the top. What they do is it's organized by page number. So you can start at the beginning of the catalog and work your way through. And they have some asterisks next to things. Those asterisks are then noted on the back here that, like sometimes what they'll do is they will carry over the stamp set and the dies separately. Hi, Jean. Hi, Elaine. But they won't carry over the bundle. So that's what some of that means. There's also a carryover list. And that, hi, Cindy Runtree. There's a carryover list, meaning that there are some things from the Stampin' Up! Mini catalog that are carrying over. They're either carrying over right away into the new, like that you can still continue to get them in January, but there are some things, and I don't know if you guys can see the color coding. I color coded it with this soft greenish color. It's like a tanny green, and that means that they're not going to be available till the mini catalog. So if you're not getting, I will be emailing this. I don't know. It's already scheduled. I don't remember what day I scheduled. You guys, I'm so excited. I can schedule emails. It's such a good thing. So, I'm not sending you emails at 7 in the morning, but I schedule them. So in case you do go to work, that you catch it before work. But if you guys are wondering where I store all my documents, this is something worthwhile. I'm going to show you. When you go into your website browser, your internet provider, like not internet provider, wherever you get your internet from, like go into a Google search or a Chrome or a Firefox or somewhere where you can get to a website. The website is the cards, you can read it here, cardsbycrispy.com. When you go in there, you guys, here's my little trick. Under blog and news, which is the very first one, there's a newsletter section. And some of you who already read my newsletters, you know that this is out here. But this is where I publish a PDF of my Cards by Christine schedule. The annual catalog recipes are here, the holiday recipes, the color charts, the Eden's Garden collection, and right there, if I go really close, you can see July to December 2021 mini catalog last chance and carryover. That's where the Christmas wish list is. I've got the winter creative escape stuff there and the used stamp sale. So this is where I house documents for you guys to be able to access whenever you want. But all you would do is, I don't know how you guys' phones work, but mine, you download it and then it asks how you want to open it up. And then I can open it up on my phone and then I can look at it that way. So some of you guys can then, if you're looking at this from your computer, you can also email it to yourself. So I hope that helped. Hi, Barb. Hi, Sherry. I see who I missed here. I don't know if I missed anybody, but we'll see. If I missed you guys, hi to everybody that came in just while I was doing that. So what I plan to do with this, you guys, every time that this last chance list is brought to fruition, that we have access to it, what I do is I take one of the copies of the catalog and I go through and highlight everything that's retiring, and then I make notes on what might or might not be carrying over. And then we do a walkthrough, retirement walkthrough, like Facebook Live. I think I'm going to do it. I'm shooting for Friday. Saturday is the small business showcase that I help run. So if I don't do it Friday, I will do it on Sunday. December 1st is on Wednesday. So I'm hoping that by spending some time going through things with you, that you guys, hi Luann Johnson, so excited for Mary Gunn. She got her 100 submissions. That's awesome. So I want to make sure I get through this list with you in case there are things that you want that are going to be retiring. You guys, it's not like one of these things where, oh my God, I got to have it, I got to get it right now. Like, I don't want you to ever feel pressure, but if there are things that you want, you just have to realize in the back of your head that I'm sure other people want them too. And if you wait till the very end, they will be gone. So it's one of those things that you don't have to like run to the race line, but you don't want to like crawl on your back to get there to get some things, just so that, you know, they're still there when you go to get them. So hi, Donna from Northeast Michigan. So while people are still rolling in, I do want to share some happy mail with you guys and some swap cards actually. Hi, Bonnie Morris. So I got a couple cards in the mail. This one is from Lynn Beasley. So she sent me this pretty one using the hand-penned petals. It looks like that's where the words came from. And then there's the circle die around the edge. Very soft and subtle. I love it. And she put a Post-it note in, and I can use that one. This one came from Cindy Runtree. Yay, I got a Christmas card. So excited. I absolutely always love the subtle embossing folder. She used up some of that free sale-a-bration paper. That's what I use for my Christmas cards too. I love it. Thank you so much, Cindy. This one came from Brenda Little. Oh my gosh. So Brenda, I've done a bendy card for a class back in probably 2016. Way many moons ago. And so mine, it's just this, it's about the same thing. So what happens is you cut these little slits right here. And it's a bendy card because it has the bends to it. And then this one, this tab fits right in there. And so the thing is you kind of got to finagle that. And then what happens is, so that's what it looks like from the top. That's what it looks like from, oh, there's Brenda Little watching. I love it. And then that's the front. And it sits up and down on your table, and it's very, very pretty. So, and then what she did, she put a Post-it note on the back. So I love it. So this is a great fun fold. Hi, Tammy Steckling. This is a great fun fold. Hi, Kelly Bird. Look at how beautiful the inside got decorated as well by her. So yes, very, very cool. Thank you, Brenda. I love it. And then quickly, you guys, I do want to show you some swap cards. I have a few here, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but the Eden's Garden, the reason I want to share these with you is because I forgot to do them for the last swap card showcase. Yeah, I can't remember everything all the time, right? So I'm just going to roll through these cards. The Eden's Garden collection is available as a full suite of products or a whole collection of products. It's a stamp set, dies, cotton paper, designer series paper, and then those gems. And I didn't realize this in the beginning, but like a week into November, I realized that the cotton paper, the designer series paper, and those gems are not carrying over. They are while supplies last. Hi, Betty. And so if that is something you're interested in, you might want to consider getting them sooner rather than later, because it's getting to be the end of November. Like, we have about a good week left. And the dies and the stamp sets do carry over. They are going to carry over into the annual catalog. So all the product that I'm showing you from these cards, these are I did an Eden's Garden swap. And so I'm just going to kind of show them. Basically know that The designer series paper is basically from the Eden's Garden. Some people incorporated the cotton ribbon, and then you'll be able to see these beautiful gems. And I have some amazing fun folds that I get to show you too. I have some amazing stampers that I swap with. So this one is from Lori Miller, and she added the Blushing Bride, but you can see that the gems are so pretty. This is that tag from the little stockings. So pretty. So gold really goes with this set. This one was from Jennifer Merle, Hampshire. I love how she did the double edging with the die at the bottom here. This one, hi Pam Newhauser. This one's from Jeanette Swain. Love it. So this designer paper has foil, like the gold foil in it, and here she added some gilded gems. This is the one I made. I actually did like a binding, so I flipped it over and I took a strip and I die cut that on both sides and then had to line it up to die cut that edging. So that's mine. This one is from Lori Krause. It's a really pretty one too. So that die is part of this set. Now this is from a punch, and then that's my favorite die in the whole set is that one right there. Here's one from Marissa Alvarez, and it says, let's celebrate everything. She also incorporated the gold cording in here, and then has some banners and different designer paper, tasteful textiles, embossing folder. Now this one is from Jay Shante. Okay, so before I take it off, this is what the front looks like, and there's a belly band. She used some of that gold shimmer, like the gold ribbon that's in the mini catalog, so this is what the little belly band looks like. So pretty. And it's one of these guys that comes out like this. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, and there's one more fold even yet. Look at that. Yep, and then that's that die that has the edging on the bottom. So pretty. Hi, Debbie Schultz. Okay, so that one was the Jay Shante fun fold. This one is from Wendy Lee. I totally cased this card for a different card. I loved the layout with the frame and then the scalloped contour dies, and then it's hard to see it, guys, but this is embossed with that stitchery embossing folder, so it has that look all over the front. And then this, what's cool about this, you guys, if you have a hard time covering up designer series paper, then this is how you can do it. So she took a 4x5 and glued it onto the top flap, and then when you open it up, you get to see the inside of the designer, or the back side of the designer series paper. So cool concept. I'm going to definitely case this card again. So, and then this one is, I don't know. I can't remember who our last gal was that did this card, but I'll show you guys real quick here what it looks like. So it's got like a column with a designer paper and then the foliage stuff coming out with that label. Now I've got 3 more cards that are fun. 3 more that are fun. Oh my God, this one's so amazing. I love it. I love it. I haven't seen this one. But like it folds flat to be an A2 size card. So 4¼ by 5½, right? But like look how when it opens up. I'm so in awe. Hi Tabitha. It's just a normal 11 by 4¼ score. Don't ask me for measurements, guys. I don't know it. But I am going to case this card for a fun fold next year. And then it's just a panel on here, a panel here, and then some layers there. And then it sits perfectly. Like, it's so cool. Like a fan. I love it. So the concept is awesome. So I had never seen a card folded like that. This one I've seen before. So this one is one of these where you cut your strips and then you score it just right, and then it sits like that. And so that's the front of it. Decorated so pretty. So names, one of these is Catherine Anderson's and somebody else's. This is Sandy Carlson's. I know, no, this is Wendy. One of these is Sandy Carlson's. I can't remember which one. The name wasn't there. Hi, Stacey Burns. Hi, Barb. This one, hi, Ann Bellinger. So this one is Wendy Cranford. So she did, look at that, you guys, the tower card, the spinner card, the pinwheel card, whatever you want to call it. Hi, Kathy Groves. We all call it something different, and there's no wrong way. But yes, when you spin, I call it spinner because I like spinning it around. And I know it's not like the true sense where something is spinning around on a string, but yeah, so pretty. There's Penny Powell. Hi, so cool. Yeah, that fold is amazing, Penny. I totally agree with that. So guys, I just wanted to share these with you because if you're looking to get some of that designer series paper, now is the time. It's $15 for the pack, and it's the gold foil, so it's specialty paper. So, and the reason that I took you out to that newsletter section is because there is a complete flyer about that in my newsletter section. It's called the Eden's Garden Collection. So yay! Now I can feel good that I showed you guys those cards. I love it. Another thing, you guys, I'm going to show you something, and it's time to start telling me you want these or not. I haven't figured out the whole shipping because I think they'll fit in a priority envelope, and if you guys are getting card classes from me in the near future, we can figure out something. But I'm ready officially. I have my caddies. I call them a caddy. It's not really a caddy. I don't know what it is, but I'll show you what mine looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this down. And so mine says on here, Be Happy Stampers, because that's the name of my team. It fits my 3 scissors. So you guys always see me putting stuff over here. I have my tear and tape. It fits 4 sheets of dimensionals. Your adhesive eraser, your ink eraser. It fits both my bone folder and my little ruler. It wasn't meant to do the ruler, but my ruler fits in there perfectly. If I have her go to make more, I'm gonna make that slot slightly wider so that the ruler fits in there a little bit better for me. Somebody asked me where the ruler comes from. I just got it. I get it at Menards. It's in the hardware section. I got my take your pick tool. I've got my 2 pens in here, my Stella pen, my liquid glue, and thanks for sharing, Marilyn, and then my mini glue dots. So I've got these available now. They are not through Stamping Up, okay? So it doesn't count for a class order or anything. It's just a side thing that I had somebody who has a 3D printer. Hi, Nanette. So I'm telling you right now, guys, I am not getting my pen and paper out, and I am not going to start logging names. That gets crazy. And you guys then have me going crazy while I'm trying to jot names. You have to email me, text me, Facebook message me, okay? Call me, okay? Just another form of not via the video posting, okay, or commenting. I need to be able to get it into a form where I can look at it on my phone and then properly log it where I am keeping track of it, you guys, okay? So I have like 20 of the Be Happy Stamper ones, and I have 25 of the others. So the other one looks like this. It says Be Creative, okay? So there's 2 different versions, Be Happy Stampers and then Be Creative. Now here's the deal. They're $25, and if you are on my team, the Be Happy Stampers, you're eligible to get the Be Happy Stampers, and I'm giving you a discounted rate of $20 because you're on my team and I love you so much. Not that I don't love all of you guys, but my team I truly love. So they get to have the first dibs at the Be Happy Stampers, and the only dibs at them is to be on my team, and then their pricing is $20, and then the Be Creative ones are $25 because I don't need to make, I don't need to like be, getting money from my team basically. If you guys know, I tried to help my team with incentives. That's like the Winter Creative Escape. I gave my team a $10 discount to help them because they're on my team. So, all right. So deal, you guys, if you're interested in one of these, now that doesn't include shipping. So if you're local to me, you'll be able to pick it up or get it at a class in the near future. If you aren't local to me, so don't send payment right away, guys. What we'll do is we'll try to figure out what's the best economical way. I believe that those will fit in a priority envelope or a padded envelope. Hi, Carissa. And no, Nanette, you don't, no. You guys can write in here that you want one. You can write all that you want that, you can't wait to get one. Just know that I'm not documenting it in the messages, and I'm not keeping a list. So if anybody's watching the replay too, just know that I'm not going to go back in the comments and like check things. So Nanette, you don't have to apologize. Nobody has to ever apologize for writing anything in the comments. I love that you guys are excited and you want one, and you can definitely share that you want one. Just know I'm not going to be getting my pen and paper out. Hi, Adam. How are you doing tonight? So Stacy Burns, the glue holders are in as well. The little baby glue holders are $5, and it just holds that one little glue. I only have purpley, like a lilac color, okay? So Stacy, if you want one of those, message me please and just tell me if you want one of them or 2 of them. So yes. That poor friend of yours will never be done printing. I know. So she has 7 left. That her husband does the printing. She has 7 left, but I'm like, I was getting antsy. I'm like, I'm not going to wait for these anymore. I want them now, especially when I've got like the holidays coming up. These would make fantastic gifts. So I don't want to ruin the surprise for somebody, but I don't think they watch. But my mom has somebody that she wants to buy one of those I'm not going to charge her because it's my mom and she helps me so much, but she wants to fill it up with adhesive. She's going to put a mini glue dot in there, a liquid glue, a tear and tape, and some dimensionals. And she's all in all, it's going to be about $50 worth of stuff. And she's going to give that as a Christmas present to somebody. So this is the bomb dizzle of a Christmas or holiday or birthday present, you guys. You know, buy it and then put a few things in it and give it to that crafty friend of yours that would truly appreciate it. It has everything all together. So I love it. Hi, Patty Stebbins. Okay, so I don't know if I have anything else that I want to kind of share, but you guys watch for Tip Tuesday tomorrow. I'm going to say this now because I might forget later because I seem to always forget something. But this is what tomorrow is all about for Tip Tuesday. It will be recorded and then aired at some point tomorrow. Yes, Penny, a crafter's dream. You see here, I put on here, do not open. It's so staticky. I'm going to be going over gold leafing with you guys tomorrow and the different ways to add gold leafing to your cards, okay? So that's for tomorrow's Tip Tuesday. And on a side note, what's being worked on now for mailings are the stamping game night. You guys, I am down to, I think, 4 spots left for this class. So if you're either in person with Lucky Hand or a game night online, either one, I had 40 sets of kits total that I planned for, and I think I'm down to 36 that are taken, and so 4 left. And it could be either in person or online. Hi, Kathy Beck. So, all right, without further ado, we'll get ready. Oh, Susie wants a caddy, yay! And I saw Nanette's message come through. See, so now that you guys are messaging me, when I get done with my live, then I can individually respond and look at comments and then reply in a organized fashion. I love it. We're getting there, you guys. So, but never be afraid to say I want, because I love the excitement. If you want a class or if you want the caddy or if you want the glue holder, like say it, love it, own it. I love to see that there's excitement with the things that I'm sharing with you. So what are we going to do tonight? We are doing ink, paper, scissors featuring the Gingerbread and Peppermint class card products. And you guys probably have your fill of this gingerbread. Either like people love the gingerbread or I think they're like, nope, I'm good with the gingerbread. And I know that because I still have quite a few of these kits left. I had planned for 40, and I think when I finally did the counting, because I had accidentally did the whole one, because I showed this class and the December one at the same time, and I wrote down the wrong ones for people. And we got it all situated, but I ended up, when I had things all, the dust settled, I think I have 13 left. So if there's anybody out there that is interested in this class that I'm doing tonight, just know that I do have plenty available. So just reach out to me. The cost is $25 for porch pickup or $30 if you want it mailed to you. If you do have other classes that are that you've signed up for in the future, we'll work out the shipping thing because I am at the point where we could consolidate. And so it'll be not 30, might be only like 28, a few dollars less. Stacy sending me an email. Yay, I love it. So Jennifer loves the gingerbread. Yay. So I did the gingerbread memories and more class with you guys on the 14th and also in person on the 5th. And so then all of a sudden now we have another gingerbread class. One was the add-on. So yay, Jed's sending me a message too. And Jeannie wants I want one for, Brenda, I'm not going to read that comment out loud. That would be an awesome idea, though. I love it. I'm going to keep my mouth shut now. Okay, I don't want to ruin any surprises for anybody. Okay, so Gingerbread and Peppermint, you guys. I'm going to flip down and just talk to you about where we're in here in the catalog. Mini catalog, July through December 2021, pages 8, 9, and then the next page is 10. That's where it has the 2. So it's just a stamp set and a die, which we really aren't using much tonight, except for some. I've only pulled out maybe 5 stamps from this set. And then there's this pillow box die here. We already went over the Gingerbread Memories and More card pack with some note cards and envelopes in a past class. We've used the craft paper in class before. This ruffled red ribbon, I'll pull that out for class tonight with the acrylic shapes. These masks, I finally used them on one of the cards. If you guys are wondering where the mask comes from, for a card we're going to be doing next month. It's the Merry Snowflakes class, but on the side here you can see there's some faint snowflakes. That was using that snowflake mask. So if anybody's doing the Merry Snowflakes with me, then you might consider getting the masks, but you could all, oh man, hands didn't want to work together there. You might just stamp snowflakes on the back side too. That works as well. So, but just know that's where that came from. The designer series paper, thank you to Carissa. She gave me this awesome little envelope that fits this paper perfectly. So Lynn said the gingerbread cards have totally grown on you. Good. So you guys, my make and take that I'm doing for the holiday open house is going to feature this product too for my tag. So, so this paper, totally pretty. You can use the dies to cut out some of it. And for class tonight, some of the paper, like this one got used, these cookies got used, these bells got used, the stripes got used, that one got used, and then the mittens, I think maybe I pulled those in. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, so that's where some of the ad hoc pieces came from for your kits for tonight. So, so the kits contain, there's 4 cards. Oh, here's the paper in a nutshell, you guys. This is the DSP samplers that I make. This is for the Gingerbread and Peppermint, and it always shows the strips of designer paper with the color combinations on the side here. So I'm done with this, the holiday catalog, but going into the spring mini catalog, these will be available for sale. I take pre-order, like you can already sign up for it now, just so I know how many that I should plan for. So then, what do we have here? This is the real red ribbon, and then this is what the goodie bag had, and then the acrylic shapes. Now, this is, it's a full container. I meant to go grab, so give me 10 seconds. I'll go grab the open one. I'll have to see if I have all the right pieces in mine. I've been working off of this guy. But these are the acrylic shapes. Hi, Mary Ellen from Montana. So there's red and white, and there's all these different shapes. So I'm going to keep it shut until we get going. So this ribbon is on back order until the end of this month. I saw something like maybe this week or next week, but it should be back in stock soon. I'm going to take and cut my ribbon. You guys, this is how I cut the ribbon. I don't try to, I mean the plastic, not the ribbon, but I try to catch the end and just get it off. Some people struggle with taking the plastic off the ribbon. It's just finding a little spot to get underneath there and get your scissors in there. So, okay, so that's where this stuff is found in. You guys, my back is feeling much better. Today was a turning point. I went into the office today and I actually kneeled at my desk and I sat on my chair. I did a combination of both and it finally feels like it's better, a lot better. So these are the stamps that go with this frosted gingerbread, and then the dies. I love the dies because you can cut out the outline to make the cookie. And then there's all 4 of these have this intricate detailing that look like icing if you cut it out in white and put it over the top. It's so cool. There's a whole bunch of different circle dies. So if you guys have these dies to go with the card kits that we're doing tonight, it might be beneficial because you could cut out some of your circles with them, or you could cut out, I think maybe the star with it. So, but that's what I've got for the stamp set. And then these are the cards we're going to be making. So we're going to do this one first, and we'll put them in order of how I want to do them. There we go. So, all ready. Are you guys ready to stamp? Hi, Gwen Petroshek. So Gwen, just so you know, if you're here, you're listening to me, I got your check today for Let's Just Stamp. Thank you very much. Lynn, I got your check too. Just so you guys know, I like to tell you when your checks come in. Lynn, I got your check today and your card for Let's Just, for game night. So yay. Okay. Thank you. I always try to message you guys, but I got home from the office and I ate something, got some salmon prepared and came out here right away. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I better not forget to tell you guys. So, all right. So this is thick basic white and it's 11 by 4 1/4 scored in the middle at 5 1/2. And whenever you do the thick white paper or thick vanilla, you definitely do want to score it. And especially if it's the hot dog style, because the grain of the paper doesn't like to be folded this way. So by scoring it, it really helps. And I noticed here that I've got red ink on there for some reason. So I'm intentionally going to put that to the outside so that it gets covered up with this designer series paper. So you guys, it's okay to have ink or imperfections in your paper, especially if you know you're going to be covering it up with something. So take that bone folder and burnish your edge like this. Hi, Pat Butts. All right, so now here's the deal with this stuff, you guys. This designer paper is 3 by 5.5, and depending on how I cut your paper, instead of getting glue happy right away, you guys, what I might recommend you guys do is I always like the top of my card to be flush, because when somebody holds your card, they see the top. They don't always see the bottom, right? So just to check this, and then what I would do is, it was really fast. Oh, thanks, Gwen. I'm so glad my back is a little better today too. What I'm gonna do is, so you're gonna end up trimming this off, right? You could either do it right now by holding it, or what we could do is get stuff glued together and then trim it once it's all stationary. So you have two options. I think I'm gonna wait and do it when it's stationary, or all glued. So like here too, my red might be a little bit longer. So the thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build this layer, the layers here. So these, the old olive is 3/4 of an inch by 5.5. The real red is 3/4 of an inch by 5.5. So how do you want to glue it together? That's the question, right? So you could use tear and tape, that works. Or if you're successful with liquid glue, you could run a little line of liquid glue. So the red one goes first. And I'm gluing it closer to one side, and then that allows me to have a little bit of margin here. So I am gonna do the liquid glue. And we mentioned about the top being flush, don't worry about the bottom. And it's about 1/8 of an inch, something like that, over. Now because of the liquid glue though, you gotta give it a little time to bond, because it might get wiggly on you. For about 10 seconds, you have the ability to kind of maneuver it where you want. I make sure that top is flush because I'm gonna trim the bottom, so I don't care about the bottom right now. Now this is my top, so that's the one I'm gonna make sure I am flush on. So I'm bringing that right even there. Okay. So that's now still the top here. I'm gonna do the same thing with the green, and we're gonna put a little line of glue here and a line of glue here. Now, you could have cut your whole mat, like the entire width, but I feel like that waste paper, because it's covered up. That's why when I do strips like this along the side, I feel like 3/4 of an inch is good. Carol, I saw your message. Thanks so much. So that will come down here like this. Hi, Joanna. So again, I'm trying to make sure my top is really nice and flush. I'm gonna flip it around, and now this is my top, and I'm gonna make sure that it's flush here. Now you notice that the ribbon goes behind, so that's where I'm gonna make sure that I remember to put my ribbon down before we adhere this. Okay, so I always try to make sure that this was as smooth as possible, not caring what the bottom does, because it'll get eventually trimmed down. Okay, so ribbon. Tear and tape is what I would use behind, and it's about 1 inch up from the bottom. So we're going to make our little tear and tape sandwich with our ribbon. So I don't know, this is 3 inches, so I usually do like about 1/2 inch longer on both sides. So just snip off what you need, and then you can pick the backs of this waxy paper off. And looking at it from the front, then I just make sure my ribbon is pretty straight, and then I tuck my tails over. And as long as I put my tape in the right spot, it should catch the tails. And it did. I went a little bit up high compared to what I needed, but it still caught it. So what I'm gonna do though is add a little bit more tape over it. And sometimes I like to go right to the corner with it, because then that helps keep the adhesive right near the corner. Okay, so what's gonna happen is this will get put onto the card, and then we'll trim our bottom to make it flush with the white. So take off that waxy paper, and then you can put adhesive around the rest of it. You gotta be careful with the liquid glue. If you get much closer to the edge than that, and you have it thick, it could ooze out on you. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is center this so that there's equal amounts of white showing. Get it nice and flush at the top here. Okay, and then you can kind of squish it down good. Now, so the paper started off at 11 inches, and when it folds, it kind of like loses a little bit of length. So when I cut this paper, I cut it at 5.5. But because of that fold then, you lose a little bit of length. And sometimes too, when I cut my red and my designer series paper, I cut it a hair long versus a hair short, because I'd rather have you guys be able to trim it off than have the paper showing, like the card base showing. So just use your scissors and just use a guide, the cardstock as a guide, and that will still make it nice and flush. But when you hold a card, you see the top more than the bottom. So I always try to make sure my mats are nice and flush on the top there. Okay, so this white dye, who wants to guess where it's from? It's from, I don't know if I should give you a second. I'll give you a second. Who can guess? So that is from a specific die set. And then here's Snowflake here. Snowflake is from the designer series paper. If you guys recall here, there was some patterns that had multiple different shapes on them. So some of you guys will have gotten the red and some of you will have gotten the green. And they are pretty interchangeable, right? They look pretty similar. So our sheet had two, yes, Deb, the hippos, you got it, girl. So 2 red came on a sheet and 2 green came on a sheet. So you guys, by the magic of TV, mine was already fussy cut. So what I did for you guys that got kits for me, I don't fussy cut for you. I trimmed around and cut out chunks. And then you can later cut it how you want. Yep, Julie, you're right. And Karen, you guys are all right. A+ tonight for you guys. So flip these guys over and you're gonna grab some dimensionals. Oh yeah, we get to use this sheet up tonight, guys. So when you're looking at your dies, just know that there's a rough edge and then there's a rolled smooth edge. It's the rough edge that I like to put towards the back, and then the smooth rolled edge that can go, oh, almost, not quite. Oh, you're gonna use it up just to get rid of it. There, now I'm happy. Use up a sheet of dimensionals. That life is good. Okay, so Hippo and Dies is this one, and I've got it something in the middle. This card is one that I actually made at Creative Escape. I altered it slightly to make it more what I wanted. Let's see here. Oh, you guys, we might finish this little sheet up too. So then after you've either fussy cut, I don't think, so here's the thing with this die. If you guys have this Snowflake die, when you put that die on this colored image from the cardstock, it actually cuts out that more of that brown. So if you guys can see that raised edge right there, that's on the inside. So it cuts out on this inner brown. So if you would use the die to cut this out, you guys would lose a lot of that brown edging. And I didn't want to do that. So that's why I did fussy cut mine out, because I wanted to keep actually a little white border all the way around too. So completely up to you. If you don't want to fussy cut and you want to use the dies, just know you'll lose a little bit of that. Crazy, I know, but I love to fussy cut. Yay, Anne, you're like 5 people I know that love to fussy cut and will openly admit it. Oh, I know some people say it's relaxing. It's okay. I don't mind it if I only have to do a few of them. But if you give me 100, I'll be like, nope, I'm good. All right, sentiment. So this Happy Holidays comes from the stamp set. And the colors that I pulled out for ink tonight, you guys, are the Cinnamon Cider, Real Red, and Old Olive. They are what go with this suite of products very nicely. And so we're going to use the Real Red, and I'm going to grab the piercing mat. This is just a strip of paper. It's a scrap, actually, and it's at 3/4 of an inch. That I didn't want to read right. 3/4 of an inch, and everybody's got different lengths. You're going to trim the ends anyway. So if you don't have the stamp set and you use a little longer one, that works too. You guys, I've practiced with the stamp set a lot. So I'm going for the gold right now and just going for stamping my sentiment and not practicing first. But if you're new to your stamp set and haven't used it before, hi Peggy, you would definitely want to practice with it to make sure that it stamps fairly nice and to kind of condition it a little bit before you go to stamp. Okay, what's on the inside? Oh, did I do it? Oh yeah, wishing you a Merry Christmas. Okay, so that guy's right here. So, oh look at me being very efficient. Shutting my ink pad right away. Okay, again, I've practiced quite a bit. So normally, if I'm stamping on a white card base, I probably would have done it first, because if I didn't like it, I could have flipped it inside out. But do you remember I covered up some red ink on the outside? So we just have to stamp it really good to begin with, and then we don't have to worry about it. So that can go right there. And then in this set, there's these little candies, and we're gonna stamp some of those as well on the bottom. So there's that. Candies to me should be the red. Oh, I should have done that in green. Oh well. So this is where, you guys, there's no right or wrong way to make cards. There really isn't. Afterwards, I thought, oh, I should have stamped the sentiment in green, because then I have my candies in red, but doing red with red doesn't look bad either. It's all good. So that's it for stamping on this card. So we'll set that there and that there. What do we have to put on here? This guy right here. So grab your paper scissors, and I just I didn't even banner them. I just that's not even flagging. It's just slanting the ends. That's all we're doing. So gotta get that guy just like that. Okay, and then how I put this on is I actually put a line of dimensional at the top. So what I mean by a line of dimensional, so look at this, a brand new sheet. Okay, so a line of dimensional, and cut it like that. So my ribbon has a little bit of height to it. I might have cut too much here. So I like to pop the dimensionals on the the top part. Oh, I did cut too much. Let's cut that off. Okay. Save him for later. And I'm pretty sure I put nothing on the bottom half. So I would put some tear and tape though, to catch the ribbon a little bit. So this is where it's okay, you guys, to put the double adhesives on. The ribbon is loose here, right? So I want to make sure that I have that dimensional at the top of it, and then putting the tear and tape kind of over the ribbon to help secure it. And so when I put this on, I want to see a little bit of that red ruffly, like a little skirt kind of coming out the bottom. And the more that I put this to the left, the more room I'll have to put my bow there. So I'm trying to get that over here. Something like that. Okay. And then a bow. Okay, so bow makers. You guys, I have these too. If anybody needs a bow maker. I did a Tip Tuesday a long time ago. I probably mentioned that every time. But so I'm loose in my right hand. I go underneath. They make like an X here. The loose end goes up and over and under. And then you just tie a knot. And this is the back of the bow. And then the front of the bow is over here. So then you can just use your ribbon scissors, and you hardly waste any ribbon then when you use it from the spool here. Okay, so I would definitely use the glue dot. So you can see then the front is a nice smooth line here. Okay, so glue dot, and grab the pick tool, helps to pick the little guys off. Now, I would put a glue dot right underneath where the bow is gonna go, because that's gonna push the ribbon down and make it so that the bow isn't like kind of loose and just hanging on that ribbon. So after you got it underneath, then what I'm gonna do is put one off to the side here, and then my bow can kind of stick there. Now, depending on what your tails do, they may look nice or they may not, but if they aren't where you want them to be or secure like you want them to be, put a glue dot, and then put your bow right into it, and then grab another one, and I'm going to do that on the other side, and just stick my, so then my tails are going exactly where I want them, and then I'm going to cut this so it's kind of right flush with the bottom of the card, so it's not hanging over the edge of glory. Okay, so that's what we've got for the bow part, but we're not quite done. We get to do our embellishments. Now, you guys are like, well, how do you attach these embellishments? Okay, there's these acrylic shapes. They're not thin, really. They're actually a little bit thick, but like not crazy thick. And you gotta be careful too, because like to put this in the mail, I would definitely put a card over the top of it so that that doesn't get like wrecked. But I actually was using liquid glue. So you could do glue dots or liquid glue. So, so I'll show you here a glue dot. So this is a dot of liquid glue, I should say. So I'm putting that there, and I'm gonna put one here. And just to try to show you the dots there, you can see them. Then I use my pick tool. Now let's see if I might have used up, oh, look at this, there's one. So when you guys got yours brand new, you have a little bit of everything, but I've made a bunch of cards already. Yes, you're crafting with friends in the same room. I love it. Oh, look, there's one right there. Okay, cool. So I have two of this guy. So you guys should have plenty, but I know I've made plenty of samples with this already. And so I've used up some of this particular design. Okay, so that guy goes there, and then that one goes there. Okay, then I have two down here and then one in the middle. So what can we put in the middle? It's like I'm 2 years, no, not, I shouldn't say two. I'm like 6 years old and I'm a little girl playing with beads is how it feels. So I don't have any of that pretty swirly thing left, I don't think. And I have some red. So I'm gonna use a white one though, you guys. So I put a red one in the middle. I think the red stands out really nice, but I'm gonna use a white one in mine because that's what I've got left. So I'm gonna do another little dot of glue. And then down here, we've got one on the edge and one down here. Hi, Debbie. Okay, so this guy goes in the middle. You can't like brush against this quite yet. You almost have to give this a little time for it to dry. Okay, so there's the one, and this is where the pick tool comes in handy too. I think there are small little red, oh, there he is, right there. I gotcha. Okay, so I added, so you can see that the white, but you could, if you have a red blend or a red permanent marker, you could color the white ones. But, so you can see the difference. The red kind of just stands out a little bit more. When you're in person, you can definitely see the white one on there. But in the camera, the red one definitely shows more. So, but that's how that's how I did it this time. Next time I'll show you on the next card, I'll show you the glue dots. Okay, I always shut those things so I don't spill them all over the floor. And when you're in a class, and you're passing those, always shut them before you pass them. Hi, Ethel King. Okay, so we got one done. What do you think, guys? Are you happy with it? This is another one where if you have any really pretty designer paper, doing a panel down the middle and accent colors on the side, a little sentiment and something decorative in the middle would be awesome. All right, so we got one done here. I'm gonna be very careful with where I set that so that it doesn't get disrupted. All right. So this next one is a bit of a fun fold. Not a crazy fun fold, but anytime that it's not like a traditional A2 and it has different folds to it, I call it like a fun fold. I noticed I got some oozy goozy glue here, so I'm going to use my adhesive eraser. You guys, you can get these on Amazon. Stampin' Up! Used to sell them, but they don't anymore. They're like $3 or $5 depending on where you get it on Amazon, like which person or thing or company. So yes, so yeah, I love it. So it's really not crazy at all either. So let's grab this one and pull out our pieces. Now this one is not it's not a traditional 8.5 by 5.5. It's a little bit shorter by I think an inch. Yep. So instead of this being 8.5, it's cut off an inch here. You can see the score line right there. So an inch was cut off on this side. So you can fold it though. Make sure you're lining up good, and then burnish this side. Okay. So that little inch off there allows the white paper from underneath to be seen. Your white in the inside is the 4 by 5.25. That's your traditional mat. This guy is 3 3/4 by 4, and then it's scored at, this is 3/4 here. Oh, but we need the bone. I was just gonna put it back, but we need to score that, or it needs to be scored and then burnished, but you guys already have yours scored. This is the piece that will get glued behind here to make that little flapper. Okay. Your designer paper is 5 1/4 by 3. Hi, Laura Sullivan. Sorry late, but you're good that you're here. That's all that matters. Hi, Amy. Okay, so that'll go there. This is cut from where? Who wants to guess which die this is from? I'll give you a second to answer. It's a little scalloped, and you're gonna think, oh, maybe it's a scalloped contour die, but I'm gonna tell you it's not. So I wanna see who can guess what that is. And then we have the little star. So yay, Kay and Christy are in for game night. I love it. So this little star also came from the Designer Series paper pack. So I bet it's this one right here. So that's you. So you guys got chunks, and then you will get to cut it out yourself. Hi, Kay. Okay, so I've already, by the magic of TV, fussy cut mine out. Now, let's look at really quick the dies. Let's see how this die works with the star. So this one, ha ha ha. Oh, I could have used, look at that, it's like perfect. You could have definitely used the die, if you have it, to fussy cut the star, and it wouldn't have taken off extra or too much. Lovely Labels is not correct. It's not. It is from the annual catalog. If you guys watched me, it's not stitched rectangles because it has the scalloped contour. It's got the scalloped edging. Now, you guys asked me last week, did I buy anything from the seasonal sale? And I said I bought a few die sets. One die set was the pet set because I didn't own it yet. One set was this picture it, and then there was one that I got as a double or a duplicate because I use it so much. So it's from the annual catalog. Stitch So Sweetly. Yes, Christy Warren, you got it right. Ding, 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 ding. You are the winner. Okay, so for this, you guys see though here, you guys, I love doing this. Kelly got me onto this whole lamb technique thing is what we call it. I know that doesn't look like much right here, but it's roughly, oh, you can see it from there. Okay, so how do we do that? Grab your tear and tape. Whimsical dies, it is not. Vicki, you had it right too. Carmen, you had it right. Yes, good job, girls. Oh, let's stamp for we got to stamp first. Okay, hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited to do the lamb technique that I almost forgot to stamp here. So we are gonna stamp the Wishing You a Merry Christmas. You guys notice I go to the corner of my ink pad because I notice it's a little lighter in the middle. So this Wishing You a Merry Christmas will go right about here. You want to keep it down low enough so that you have a little room to put your star, right? So that'll be good. What's our inside say? You're the icing to my gingerbread. Well, it's in a different color though, so we can shut this one. And we will do that in a second. So I'm excited to do the lamb technique. So, oh, and I stamped it backwards, you guys. I kept like trying to pick, so sometimes when you guys get some die cuts from me and they have little black like marks on them, it's actually from the plates. And the back side generally gets it and not the front side. So this side is the rough side and then this side is the rolled side. So just because this card is going to somebody, I really wanted to, it's going to be a prize for somebody next week. We're going to stamp it on the right side to me. Hi, Jenny Miller. Virtual hugs to you as well. Thanks for joining. I hope you have your settings good now. You guys, I don't know if you know this, but you can set your settings for people's, so like when people have Facebook business pages, you can set their settings for those different pages to see videos first, see posts, you can set your settings. You can see everything or just highlights. And so that's what Jenny was talking about, that she changed her following again. And I think that's like, because Facebook picks and chooses what it sends you. So, hi, Chris Duderenke. Okay, so we're back to the ribbon here. So we're going to do this little lamb technique. For some reason, I always start from the bottom and I work my way up because I have a hard time working down this way. I don't know, for some reason with my being right-handed, I can catch this and operate on this side. If you're left-handed, you might work better going down this way. But I've got the tear and tape down this side. You can kind of see it shiny. I catch my little tail here, and then I'm going to just weave it back and forth. Now, it's up to you how big you want to make your Humpty Humps here, right? If you want them bigger or smaller. But what I'm doing, I'm going to show you the back now. I'm just weaving it. I'm catching the tear and tape and just going back and forth like that. Okay, so this one goes like that, and I just keep doing that I'm pressing it with my finger into the tear and tape like that. Okay, so it's just building this little ruffly edge. Ruffles have ridges. And the main thing is that when we're done, that like you get to the end here, you got to kind of be strategic about it. Like you don't want a big loopy, and you don't want it to be a gap either. So you just got to work it. If you don't like it, you literally just kind of pull it off and you can start all the way over. But I like it. So what happens when you like it is you have to secure it good. We learned that if you don't secure it with some extra tear and tape, it will come loose on you. And I know this because when Kelly did, if you guys remember, there was a paper pumpkin that was the bases loaded one from May. And Kelly did a ruffly edge and she left it here for me. And I got back from Hawaii and the ruffles had all come undone. And it's because she didn't secure it with this extra tape over the top. Just like this, just squish it down good on there. Then once it's squished, I'm gonna take my scissors and trim the ribbon here. Now, I think I will even pull the tear and tape off and that will help secure that even more to the paper. So I hope that made sense. We've done this a little bit in class. So hi, Shar. Kelly, yeah, so she's been doing this weaving and she just loves, she's so creative with ribbon. I love it. I love it when I have creative people around me to help me become more creative, you guys. You probably think I'm very creative and I feel like everybody else is more creative than me. I just like, I'm a little sponge. I try to just take in everything I see. All right, so you're the icing on my gingerbread is this guy right here. And we're gonna use the cinnamon cider ink and I've practiced plenty, guys, so I'm going for the gold. Okay, you are the icing on my gingerbread. I love photopolymer stamps. You guys, I was not on the bandwagon. When they first introduced photopolymer stamps, I was still using wood stamps, and I was not getting rid of my wood stamps. It took me so long to convert to red rubber, like on acrylic blocks. It took me even longer to get on board with photopolymer. And then all of a sudden I saw the light. And as soon as I saw the light about seeing through, they don't fall off your blocks. Oh my God, life is good. I was hook, line, and sinkered. All right, so I didn't put anything else on the inside of this card because when you open it up, you actually got those little corner things going on. So you can't get happy and glue this though, okay? Promise me you're not gonna glue it quite yet because what we have to do, this little flap right here needs to go on the back of that. So liquid glue, that works. You could do some tear and tape, that works. You guys, my go-to is liquid glue. It just, it goes the extra mile for me. What I wanna do is I wanna make sure I'm centered. So I'm gonna try to use my white here as a guide and do about the same equidistant on each side. And as I bring it up, making sure I'm centered, like this, top to bottom. And then once you have it where you want it, you're just gonna flip the lid here, flip that flap down, and then just make sure if you're using the liquid glue, give it a second here. Into the whole thing, and now I can't see through the line things, so it would be why. So I'm gonna read your message here, Stacy. So wise, clean them well every time you clean them. Yep. So stamps like photopolymer, you can see it's got this little pink hue to it, but I can still see through it. If you use permanent black ink on them and you don't take the Stay-On remover and get it off, you guys are gonna have a hard time seeing through. So like what Stacy's saying here is, you know, make sure that you keep your, with all stamps too, just make sure you clean them after you use them. Don't let them sit with ink on them. Get them cleaned before you put them away. Hi, Janet Core. All right, so this is gonna go in here now. Guys, the main thing was to get that little flapperonia down so that you have your green piece ready to adhere to it. Okay, so that is good here. Hi, Patricia Saddle. I don't know if I said hi to you yet. All right, so then this right here is gonna get popped up with dimensionals. Oh gosh, we're gonna try to get this guy used up now yet. Are you guys as crazy about like getting sheets used up as I am? Tyler picks on me all the time. I'm the one that loves, it bled into the other part that is not raised. Oh yeah, that's not good, Stacy. Like Stacy said that it ran into the other part, then it's really hard to see the stamp then. It's like a guessing game then. Hi, Jean Terwilliger. So Tyler makes fun of me because I love it when the shampoo bottle gets emptied. I love it when the toothpaste is emptied and you can throw it away. And as long as you have the next one ready to go, life is good. All right, so I'm picking all my backs off. I'm contemplating if I want to pick this off or not. I think I'm going to. It'll help provide it to stick to the paper even better. So pick that off, and now you're centering this on your green. So I made that green just a little bit longer so that when you added that ribbon to it like that you still had a good amount of green on both sides, okay? So now you can make sure that's nice and secure. And this guy gets popped up with dimensionals. Oh yeah, I used up 2 sheets today. Life is good. Okay, so now we can use up some of these. All right, and then the acrylic shapes. That guy will go right about here. Looks good to me. And then let's see what we've got in here. Oh, okay. I think, you know, so I use, if you look at mine, I use these that kind of fit in the corner nice. They have like a 90-degree angle. And I don't know if I have any of them left. So we're gonna use what we have. And that entails those 2 guys, which they will look perfectly fine. And then a little white guy like that, a little white candy guy. Okay, that's it for this one. So I said I was gonna use glue dots for this case. So I do too, Cindy. This fold is awesome. It really showcases, again, the designer series paper. And I've seen where people put designer paper on the back panel here. So when you open it up, there's designer paper here and here. And it takes it over the edge. I love it. Hi, Linda Hunt from Georgia. Oh, thanks so much. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys how to use this. So I would put a glue dot right in the middle and then pick this guy up. Boom, just like that. Now, glue dots work perfectly fine too, and then you don't worry about the glue oozing. So with this though, sometimes if you don't have, like the glue dot is too big, you might see it kind of peeking out. So let's grab this. You just squish it down good. Okay, this song, squish it real good from the 80s. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that's enough singing. All right, and then this one can go right here. So you can see I ran out of that shape, so I used that shape, and it still looks good. Looks good to me. Okay, how is that for a nice easy card, you guys? Easy breezy cover girl. Love it. There we go. You're the icing to my gingerbread. Now, if you guys have the gingerbread designer series paper at home, grab out some pieces, measure this, and you could put some of this on the inside panel, and it would be so much like, it just, when you'd open it up, it'd be like, boom, awesome, pretty, more in the face. Okay, 2 cards done. So we got these 2 done. Loving it. Okay, now we're going to move on to card number 3. Okay, where are my samples going? Right here. All right, so this, oh, it's Stella. Oh my gosh. Yes, Susie, Stella was on a date. We'll get her off of her date for a second. Now, you wonder like, hi, Kay Warren, where do you Stella on a card, right? Like, okay, well, the cookie, definitely the cookie. So you could just Stella this whole cookie. So you guys, the Stella had a blow up the other day, so she's a little hydrated now. Okay, so, and you can never really see the Stella in the camera, but it adds a little bit of iridescent glitter. This border too, you could definitely Stella that. So go around the edge and add a little bit of that. Hi, Sherry Holly. Can add a little bit of bedazzly there. And that's good. And I don't know, let's see if I can show on the camera. Sometimes you can get the effect of Stella and sometimes you really can't. You guys got to get a Stella just to understand. So this one, you guys, you can Stella ribbon, just so you know. We learned that. It adds a little bit of the shimmeriness to the ribbon, so you can definitely do that. And also you could Stella your cookie. So Stella got off of her hot date. Hi, Chris from Iowa. All right. There, Stella is good now for a moment in time. Okay, now she can go back and be on her date. Okay, so this guy right here, so Miss Gina Bulow, I got to create with her a couple or a few weeks or a month ago. I don't remember, a few weeks back. And this is what we came up with. So it's a little bit different of a fold. And same measurements per se of a 11 by 4 1/4. What happens is it's scored at 2 3/4 and 8 1/4, or 2 3/4 from each end, right? That still gives you a 5 1/2 middle section here. Yep, Barbara, catch the replay. It'll always be there for you. So when I'm folding a card that meets in the middle like this, so it meets in the middle, what I do is I fold one edge over first after I've scored it, okay? So that's done. Then when I'm putting the other side down, I don't want it to overlap. I don't want it to be too short. What I try to do is butt it up to the line, the other. Hi, Sonia from Australia. I'm so happy you love them. Yay. So I butt it up to it, and then I squish it down with the bone folder and burnish it. So now they've met right in the middle. There's nothing overlapping. There's nothing too short. It just has a perfect seam right in the middle. Okay, so that's our base. Arliss didn't think she needed the set, but she sure likes the cards. And there's my favorite one is last, I think. So I always, you guys, I don't know if you know that about me. I like to say my favorite one for last. Okay, so now we have a white inside, which is your traditional 4 by 5 1/4. What did I stamp in there? You're the icing, and then some little red candies. Okay, on the outside I've got wishing you a Merry Christmas. Okay, so let's do our stamping. We'll grab these two pieces. Get our little foam mat. Let's get to business. Cinnamon cider. You guys, I don't think I really ever used cinnamon cider until this suite of products. I mean, maybe once with some sunflowers, but I'll be honest with you, this cinnamon cider got a workout with this stamp set and this suite of products. Okay, you're the icing on my gingerbread. We'll go in the middle, right about there. Okay, and then we're gonna grab our red ink. I'm doing the marinating, you guys. Diane Bogenhagen, should we coin that after her? So it's allowing the ink to hit the paper and make for a nice crisp image. You guys, the more that you allow the ink to hit the paper, the more crisp and solid it will look. Okay, so there's that one. And then now this wishing you a very Merry Christmas is in the bottom right corner. So I'm going to go to get the ink here, not near the middle because I know it needs to get re-inked in the middle. And that's going to go right about, so I can't look straight over it with my head. So I'm trying to get it lined up good for you guys. Okay, so there's that. Now, the ornaments here, the cookie, like there's a snowflake and a bell. They're like ornaments, but they're cookies. Those came, you guys, from your designer series paper pack, and it's a chunk. I gave you guys a chunk, and so you'll have to, we already talked about that this snowflake is too small, and there is I was gonna say a Bidel, a bell die, and it fits in there perfectly. So if you guys have the dies, you could use this die to cut out your bell if you wish. Not the cookie snowflake though. That one we said was too small. So these were in your kits. Now, they might have not been exactly in this kit because if I'm not mistaken, some of the paper was connected differently. So like these mittens and the stars were on the same sheet of paper. So I'm pretty sure I put all of your pieces in with the last card. So your mittens and your star were in the other card. So you guys might have to go hunting for them in the other kit, okay? I wasn't gonna cut them all apart crazy like, so, okay. I think that's it for stamping. So let's get glue happy. So I can do it finally. We're gonna flip this guy over and we're gonna flip this guy over. And what was also included in your kit were these 2 white panels and 2 designer panels that look like gingerbread dough with frosting on them. Now, everybody's got slightly different. So if you, let's see here if I got another sample to show you. No. Okay. There are 3 patterns, just so you guys aren't confused. I don't like confusion. You see this one right here? This was one of the patterns. that could have worked. Oh, here, it's right here. Yep, boom, right there. So there's one pattern. And then there was this pattern, which I'm using right now. And there was yet, oh, that guy, the swirlies. So you got one of those three. They all look pretty much the same, but I could use, basically, you could only get one set of these out of, because these are 6x6 sheets, you know. So you could really only get, I could only get one sheet per one card. And so to make 40 card kits, you guys, I needed 40 sheets. And so I used all three patterns, just so you know that. So that's why that might be that yours is different. Okay, but you guys are gonna go a little crazy here, because watch this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go all the way here. I'm doing glue, glue. I'll look at it as long as I have my glue bottle open. It takes time to open and shut the glue bottle, right? Now I'm gonna start gluing these together. So just, if you're gonna do this at home, be very careful, because you don't wanna be getting glue everywhere on your pieces. And if you're a discoordinated or uncoordinated or discombobulated, or however the word is, that if you get things all over each other, you might wanna not do that. But the glue has plenty of time. You have plenty of time before that's gonna dry. And it might save you time over the course of your crafting career or crafting time to glue multiple things at the same time. It's just how I operate. So you see that I did all four of them, and now we can do, flip this one and these two. Okay, and then they will get adhered. So these are the front panels of the base, and then this will go on this crumb cake. So these are just squares, like they just layer. I don't remember how big they are. I can tell you in a second here if I look at my little recipe sheet. Every card that is designed, I always put it on a little card like this. The white was 3x3, so the smallest one was 3x3, and then I went up 3 3/16 by 3 3/16, and then another one higher. So then these fit right on the panels like this. Now, they're both the same, yep. Okay, I wondered if there was some orientation to it, but there is not really. Okay, so then this goes here. Okay, so far you guys doing good? You're with me? So it's open, boom, like that, so cool. All right, now this one, you have to be super careful because you don't want to put any adhesive right here, right? So how I do it is I will put my 3 dimensionals along the back left side of this thing, and I don't want to guess where to put them over there, so I don't like to guess a lot because I'm always wrong. So I am putting the 3 other ones on this side. So when this gets put on, I've got 2, 4, 6 dimensionals, which is exactly what I need. Okay, now I'm going to hold that flat and try to get this centered left to right, top to bottom, like that. Okay, and then I already have some dimensionals here for some reason. I don't know. Did it in my sleep probably. So that guy's gonna go something like here. Just be careful too that you don't have the dimensional kind of hanging. The bell gets some dimensionals as well. Ah, that's that rhymed. The bell and well. I'm a poet and I don't know it. Then this guy's gonna go up here a little bit. He's kind of hanging off on the side. Now, ribbon. Kept this ribbon a little bit more simple. All you need to do is take the end of your roll and make a little loose knot with it like that. That's all that there is to this one. I'm gonna cut it a little long so I can trim my tails how I want to. Hi, Melanie Foy. Okay, so then little glue dot at the top for the bell. So I have it angling this way and that way. So I'm not gonna, oh, maybe. I mean, if you like it looking like that, I like my tails angled down. So I'm gonna put that on the bell like that. Squish it good. Now, that side looks pretty nice and that side actually looks nice, but I don't know if it'll always stay looking nice. So I'm still gonna put a glue dot down there on that side. Okay. I just feel better about having my tails secure. All right. Now, what do we have here? We got that thing, and I'm already out of those things. So what can we use? We're gonna use one of those, and then we gotta find a little red dot and another little red dot. So there's one here and one there. Oh, that little red dot would have looked good in the other one too. You could even put a little red dot in the middle of that guy, but you guys, oh, I feel like there was one sticking on there, maybe not. Okay, we're gonna use these. So I'm gonna go back to, let's trim my tails first because I'm gonna get them done. Oh, Stacy. So you guys, I still have, if you're interested in my ink, paper, scissors kits, I have that. I have enough sets left over for a lot of people, actually. I have like 10 left over. So if that's what anybody's interested in, it would come with these 4 card kits. It would come with the shapes, and it would come with the red ribbon. So that kit is available, and it is still available for purchase in the catalog. And I wonder, you guys, oh my gosh. So none of it's gonna be on sale though. So what they did is they put, if anything's on sale, it's over here. So the gingerbread and all the gingerbread stuff is retiring, but they haven't put anything discounted. So you won't get anything on sale. So when time allows it and your checkbook allows it, if you guys wanna still get the bundle or any of the designer paper, it is still available for purchase. It's in the holiday catalog while supplies last. Oh, you guys, it's almost December next week. So it's getting to be 1 month left of the catalog. So, and Christmas is coming up. So you could always reach out to somebody who has your name for Christmas or gets you Christmas gifts. And you could always say, hey, I want this. It's on my wish list. I would love it if you got it for me. Santa's out there, right? Okay, so we're gonna do a little red guy here. You guys, everything's guys to me. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but I get picked on in class that everything is a guy. I don't know why, but they're little guys. Okay, so voila, as Kelly would say. It's not like, I know the background looks a little bit busy compared with the cookies, but like, I think it works. I don't think it's too crazy. And this pattern's a little bit more subdued. It looks a little different, right? That pattern's a little slightly different. And then there was the other pattern with the swirly swirly frosting, icing. That's the word I'm looking for, icing. So, okay, now we got 3 done. All right, one more, and I really like this one the best. This one's my favorite. I love it a lot. All right, you guys are gonna have to help me remember. I almost forgot to do this the last time. I have these 4 cards too from last week's class that I have winners drawn for. So we gotta make sure I announce who they are. Okay, now Cindy says they're all cute. Yay, they are, I love them. But there's something about these mittens that I like a lot. So those mittens, what was the cost for the class? It was $30 mailed Stacy. No, this wasn't the $50 class. This was ink, paper, scissors. I don't have any of the $50 class. Thanks, Arliss. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. I don't have any of the $50 class left. That went in the mail today, actually, to Miss Sue Somerville. Woohoo! She got my last one. So excited. And you guys, I don't have any of my Stamp-A-Stacks left. The last 2 of those are being mailed out tomorrow. So the mittens, you guys, come from here. So yeah, Stacy, this was the ink, paper, scissors. It's $30 mailed, and then you get the 4 card kits, the ribbon, and the embellishments. So let's see. I need a card kit. All right. Oh yeah, I love these mittens. I like them. I love them. I want more of them. Cinnamon cider. 8.5, 5.5. Scored at 4 1/4. Fold it over, burnish it. Okay. Audrey said $31 was mailed. Yes, perfect. Because Audrey, you got this kit. It was already mailed to you. Yes. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure your kit got mailed to you. Like, that was like 2 weeks ago already, I think. So we'll have to double check. If you're, yeah. I'm confused. I think that Audrey, you already signed up for this class, and I'm pretty sure I mailed it. I feel like you wanted December, but then you switched to this one. So, okay. Anywho, 4 by 5 1/4, white matte for the inside, real red for the outside. This one is 3 13/16 by 5 1/6, and it's the Tasteful Textiles embossing folder. for your embossing on there. And then, who wants to guess where this one's from? This is the scallop die. That's kind of got part of the name in it. So who wants to know where that's from? Tell me. Hi, Vicki Fritz from Indiana. Yeah, Audrey. Okay, that's what I thought. You were probably telling her how much it is mailed. It's actually only $30 mailed. If you do a cash check option, it was $31 if you did the credit card option. So yes, and I know that I try to give the dollar back if you guys overpay. So this is the 5 1/4 by 2. So you get 3 strips of these out of a piece of paper, and then you'll have your red ribbon. Okay, stamping is on this little guy. So let's get our stamping done. I always like to do that. Your mittens, you guys, you'll need to fussy cut them. Oh, I did have a little guy that broke out, or he jumped ship here. You'll have to fussy cut your mittens. There are no dies for the mittens, okay? And then you'll have some candies. Yes, Colors and Contour, Deb, you're right. That is the bundle, and then the die name is called Scalloped Contours. All right, you guys, I'm standing up. I gotta stretch my back for a second. So, you got your candies. I think you have a bunch of them because you had some paper, excuse me, that had candies around it. Okay, so what we wanna do is the icing on my gingerbread. We'll go here. What do we have on the inside? What is it? Wishing you a Merry Christmas. Okay, perfect. So we need red ink, Inky Dinky Doo, and cinnamon cider. Okay, that felt good. Whew. Okay, so now we have here, you guys, if I can teach you anything, you probably already know it already, but my chiropractor said, and I might have told you this the last time, you gotta stand up and stretch your back every 60 to 90 minutes. And you guys probably already know this, and I knew it, I've heard it, I've learned it, but you think that you do it and you get up and stand up every 60 to 90 minutes? Oh, until you have back problems, you don't think about it really crazy like. So, okay, that's it for this one. And you know, I said I brought the green ink out, but I don't even think I used green on anything really. Okay, so then this one, hi Becky Wagner. I heard you had a fun stamping session with Diane yesterday. That's awesome. Okay, so this guy was in the inside. So we're gonna do wishing you a Merry Christmas right there. And then we're gonna pull in the candy. There was one more stamp in here that said sending you peppermint kisses. So that was kind of cute, but I didn't use it for anything. So we got that, and we're gonna put our little candy trio down in the corner, like that. And very little stamping, you guys. If you were worried about having to have a lot of, like, you could get this set and not even get the stamps, because all of the designer paper is included in your kit. And all the focal images were from the designer paper, you guys. So let's glue this and this first. Oh man, went right over the edge. Okay, so there, and then we're gonna glue this one first. Okay. Oh, you're very welcome, Janet. Happy birthday to you. If you were in class here in person, I would have made you wear the birthday tiara. Some people either love it and some people hate it, but you would have got to wear that. Happy birthday to you this week. I believe, so my dad's is the 24th and yours is the 25th, right? Or was it the 23rd? I'd have to look back in my messages, but I know you were a day either before or after my dad's, now that it's been 2 weeks since we talked about it. But yeah, so Turkey Day, I think yours is on Turkey Day, the 25th. All right, so then this one gets flipped over. We're gonna adhere this. Now, I purposely cut this so that it went all the way from the end of the red to the end of the red. So here to here, so that the white kind of is peeking out. So I like to do that a lot. Kind of like the white is kind of nestled inside the designer paper. Okay, if you've got anything that's going over, make sure you trim off your extra there. Ah, Janet Melanie says happy birthday. Okay, so tear and tape time on the back. We're gonna make our little sandwich. So if you guys don't have tear and tape, double-sided tape works too. I just love the stickiness of tear and tape, and so I'm just gonna cut a little bit extra here so that I can tuck my tails behind. like that, okay? I always leave it loose in the front because then I can tie that knot there. And now a little bit more tear-in tape right there. I think that might be it for our tear-in tape adventures for tonight. So let's put that away. And then I put the adhesive around the rest of the card here. So I know some of you are looking for the PDF tutorial for this class. If Tyler is here when I get home, it will be tomorrow. If Tyler isn't here, I will be doing it tonight. He had to finish cutting down his tree. He didn't finish it yesterday, the poor guy. It was really blustery and windy, and he didn't get started on it as early as he wanted to, so he didn't get it all the way done. So he had to go back. He took a half a day off this afternoon and went back to finish it. So we'll see if he ends up having to call it a night and going to bed because he's so cold and tired, or if he actually comes over. And I went and picked up some salmon from the store, and I have a glaze marinating on it right now, and I'm prepped in case he does stay for dinner. So, all right, so it's like not quite centered, you guys. I don't know if you can see that. This is about my 2-finger width, and like this is a good one of my fingers. So it is actually a little bit off center. Just enough room to tie a knot over there. And so I am going to try to follow that with my sample here. Hi, Mary. Okay, then our mittens are gonna go like this. And the reason I had it over this way is because this one mitten fits right there in the nook or crook of that sentiment there. Okay, so for those that are looking for the PDF tutorial, I was getting back on that. I will post it on my Facebook page when it is available as well. So, oh, I need these yet. Okay. Oh, no, you didn't. So, Lynn, do you need me to resend the PDF to you? Because I don't share it on my page per se, but I share that it's available in my online store to purchase. But you got this class, so I feel like you should have had it emailed to you. So, you guys, I've already got this one high here, and then now I just made the mitten higher. So on this one over here, I'm actually going to do a double stack of that. So when it goes off the edge of the paper, the mitten stays flush, okay? So this one right here, it was a double stack, okay? And now my mitten is smooth like that. And actually, this guy right here needs one on him to help as well. He's hanging off the edge. Okay, so now he's smooth. Now this one, the same thing is going to happen on the top. I'm going to put a double stuffed Oreo cookie right there. So a double stacker here. Okay, so that's going to hang off. And then the rest of it is going to be just a single stack. These are super sticky. They're like catching everywhere. Okay. So Lynn, if you need the PDF sent to you again, let me know. Hi, Dee Serena. Yeah, I can always send it to you. If you guys ever take any of my classes and you're missing the PDFs, you just let me know. Like Julie Bierschbach just messaged me looking for one from last game night in December of last year. And I could resend it to her. I just needed to know what one it was. So, all right, this guy. So, because I didn't put adhesive underneath my ribbon, this little guy tucks underneath here like that. And now we're just going to tie a knot. So you got to think about the knot. I've learned that instinctively I want to go like this, but then my tail is going this way. And I really wanted my tails to be going that way and not covering up my words. So I have to, oh, you're very welcome, Julie. I can't do it that way. I actually have to do it the opposite way of what I want. And then my tail will go that way. And like that. Okay, so I had to do it just a little bit differently. I had to finagle it. And now this guy's kind of going up here. And then that one's going down there. Like it? Now this right here, yes, please send me it again. I think my other half zipped it. Oh, okay, so Lynn, do me a favor. I can send it to you, but if you don't mind, send me a quick email. Just say, hi, can you send me the PDF for the gingerbread class from tonight? And then what I will do is that will act as a reminder in case I forget. That happens. But if you send me a quick reminder via email, I will reply to that email with the PDF. And then life will be good. Okay, so this guy's going here. Now, I have a third one here, and you guys probably have extra ones too. So if you want to use them, you can. I'm going to grab a little guy. There's these little candies. So these little guys are in your kits as well. They were part of this paper right here, okay? That was part of the paper. So if you want to put them on, you can, and if you don't, yeah, you're welcome, Hildenel. Then this guy goes here, and then we're gonna trim this one there, and then this one gets trimmed here, okay? Looking good. Now, I do want that tail a little bit more secure. Oh, thanks, Lynn, I appreciate that. I need all the help I can get remembering things. All right, so that's there. I am gonna put one more down on the bottom here too, on this back side of that guy, just so he's nice and secure there. All right. I'm not going to use this little, oh, I feel like it's good the way it is. Sometimes you don't need to have more. Less is best, right? Okay, so we need this for picking up. And, okay, so I ran out of those things, which we know. And I'm going to see if I can find the white ones. Yes, here's a white one. So you guys have plenty of red ones, I promise. Because if you haven't opened them up to use them yet, you'll have all the red ones. Like I used up all the red ones first, but I made 16 cards, right? Because I always make one for my display board, one for that sits here, one that gets in the drawer just in case I need it if I lose one. So let's see here. I'm going to, this is like the hardest part. What do I want to use? I'm going to use a white one here. And then, because it's like hunting for something here. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to do that guy. And this one, okay? Do I have any left? Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Kay. I hope you don't eat too much turkey. Turkey gobble gobble. Okay, and then we're gonna just see what we got here. Let's pull those out. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the liquid glue on this one, and we're gonna do a dot of glue in the middle of our mittens, in the middle of our candies, and that guy right there. Oh, and then I have two down here. Oh man, so lots of it. Okay, so we're gonna put this one here. So the white looks nice too, it just doesn't show off as much. We're gonna do a red one in the middle of that guy and a red one here. So I'll be honest with you, I do question mailing this in the mail. Hi, Carol Fox. Bet you could use the mitten with baking set dies. Yes, you sure could. Then we got a white one down here. I would be careful, like if you're gonna mail a card like this, I would definitely put a protective sheet of something. I've seen where people put like there's a little foam thin padding type thing that goes over the top. That will really help to eliminate any kind of chance that these little guys will break off. We're gonna do a white one, a little baby white one right there. Okay. Hi, Lila Erickson. I'm glad you could join for a bit. Okay, so these guys are done. I don't know, maybe you joined the whole time. I just thought you know it right now though. You guys, it's so funny how like Facebook does randomly like put different, it says so-and-so is watching and so-and-so is, you know, commenting, and sometimes I don't always see that. But here we go. Now, if you wanted more red, you could add a couple more of those little red circles up there. You could add some red circles there. You can definitely see that the red shows off more in this card, I think, than the white, but it doesn't look by any means. Whoever gets the card won't know that they could have been red at all. So, yeah. So let's see here what we all made tonight. Hi, Bobby McPherson, joining, jumping on late. All good. You get to see all the cards at the end, Bobby. This is what we just made. Okay. Right here is all four, and most of my embellishments are dry at this point now. So here we go, guys. Do you have a favorite? I'm curious. This guy is too hard to hold. We're gonna go like this. Do you have a favorite? I'm curious which one. I think you guys know which one mine is. I like this one with the mittens. There's something about mittens because they probably keep my hands warm. So let's get up here so you guys can see. I'm always got to see where I'm in the window here. So they're all so yummy looking. If you are definitely a baker and gingerbread cookie maker, these cards would be right up your alley. So thanks for sharing. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Randy. Okay, so Cindy likes the star. Deb likes the mittens. Okay. Janet likes the star one too. Okay, that's good. I like that. Okay, Nanette loves them all. That's great. Okay, Jennifer shared. I see it. Thank you for sharing, Jennifer. Okay. Donna loves them all. Carmen likes them all. Oh, Luann likes the stripes. Nice. Okay, good. I like the easiness of this card and you don't use a lot of paper with layering by putting in just those strips. You don't have lots of thick paper. Dee likes the star. Christy loves them all, but the one with the star and the bell is her favorite. That one. Yay. Star and mittens. Okay. Okay. So Lila likes the star. Okay. I'm always curious. Isn't that just go to show you that everybody likes different things? So, and Sue couldn't pick just one. I love it. Melanie says the star is the best. Awesome. Okay. So you like them. That's good. So like the gingerbread, I'll tell you, I'll be honest, when I first saw it, and it's like the first sweet that's in the holiday mini catalog, like it didn't tickle my fancy so much. But then once I started playing with the product and making these cards, I was like, this is kind of fun. It made me get in that festive baking spirit. So I love it. Yes, that's exactly it, Jenny. The inspiration that you get from the stamp set and having the designer paper with all those pre-designed images that you could just work with them and not have to even stamp them. I was like, wow, made it so great. Especially if you're a beginner starting out and you don't have a lot of stamps, like this class in and of itself you could get without having to buy the stamp set. You could use whatever holiday sentiments that you have at home. So perfect. So Laura said she likes the dies but not the stamps. Exactly. Like that is a perfect example of what I just said. Like you wouldn't even have to have the stamps, but if you liked the dies, you could get the dies. You wouldn't even have to use the stamps to coordinate with them. And yeah, made it so easy. So Deborah loves them all. Good, good. Okay. Marcia said, fun class. Good. You guys, my goal for you guys is always have fun. And you do a lot of busyness and you're always running. If you're like me and most people in the world, you're always doing things and always doing things for other people, right? And so your stamping time is your time to unwind, and it's cheaper than seeing any kind of therapist, is what I always say. Like, you're among crazy stamping friends like us that can relate to each other. And so like this is your time to unwind and just think about yourself and what you want to create and like a little creative outlet for you. So that's what I love helping to give to you guys. So, all right, Marcia, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. I know I need to give away those 4 cards. So I don't know if there's anything else because the one thing I do want to remind you guys is watch for the walk through retirement. When I set a time for that, I will create a Facebook event, I think. I'll put it on my calendar and I'll make sure that you guys, when I email for the last chance, maybe I'll try to include that in there. So I gotta look at my calendar and just figure out if it's gonna be Friday morning. My brother wants to go to Fleet Farm at 6 a.m. and get the stuffed animal. I'm like, Tom, you're 41 years old. We don't need to go to Fleet Farm and stand in line to get the stuffed animal. I'm like, I did that once with you like 3 years ago and I was so tired the rest of the day. It like bogged me down. Oh my gosh. Oh, so like it's some rhinoceros. And I'm like, I only went the 1 year with him because it was an owl and I love owl. Like I like a lot of things, but I do have owls. I have a fond, like I just like owls. They're wise creatures, I think. And so I went with him and I just was so tired the rest of the day. So we'll see. Like if he wants to go, I said I would go with him so he had somebody to go with, right? Because you don't want to go stand in line by yourself at Fleet Farm at 6 a.m, right? That doesn't sound like fun, especially when you got to get there an hour and a half early and it's 30 degrees outside. Ugh. So, yeah. anyways, we'll see once what happens. You guys, I'm sure you will get filled in on that when that happens. So, watch. So it might be better to plan the retirement for. Oh no, we're going. So on Sunday, you guys, we're going to visit Tyler's mom and his stepdad, and we're having Thanksgiving with them. So, might try to do it Friday late morning, and hopefully I'm not too dog tired. Oh God, you guys keep my eyelids open. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, you guys. Anyways, that's the story of my life. Getting stuffed animals with my brother. So, I wonder what he even does with them. Like, right, like he collects, he must, he gave them away to nieces and nephews. That's what I think he does with them. So, okay, you guys. So, tomorrow's Tip Tuesday. I gotta record that right now. After we get off here, I'm gonna record Tip Tuesday. So I'm gonna be in my same ensemble. You guys will be like, she slept in her clothes. I'm like, no, I didn't. So watch for Tip Tuesday tomorrow. I'll watch for the PDF tutorial available. If you guys want, there's a few game nights left, and there's a bunch of this class left. And if anybody's looking to get any of the December classes, I encourage you to sign up now. Even if you're not thinking of placing your order quite yet, if you sign up now and you've taken classes from me in the past, I'm in the shipping mode this week. And so I'm afraid that if I ship things after Thanksgiving, you guys won't get them for 2 weeks if the same thing happened last year happens this year. So I'd rather be proactive about shipping kits for December. And so reach out to me if you're thinking of taking any December classes and you haven't signed up for them yet, so that we can figure things out, okay? Yeah. Oh, there's Jeannie Parker. I will tell my mom and dad happy Thanksgiving as well. So, yay. Okay. Well, let's announce who won the cards, and then we will be on our way. And Kelly has a technique Thursday for you guys for Thursday too. And then there'll be a replay Thursday night. Okay. So while you're sitting on the couch because you ate too much turkey and your legs are up, you can watch a replay. So, all right, let's flip down real quick. Drum roll, you guys. Do it with me. Okay, I wish that there was like an emoji button you could do for like that. So, all right, we have the cards from the Painted Christmas class. You guys, I don't think I have any sets of this left. They went. I had 7 left at the beginning of this class last Thursday, like 5 days ago, and they're pretty much gone. So that's awesome. Yay. Winner chicken dinner is Jewel Easterling. You are the lucky winner of this beautiful card. I'm hoping that you want this one and you like this one. That's what you got picked for. All right, winner chicken dinner is the fun fold like this. That guy opened up. Nicole Legault. I might have said that really bad. So it's Legault. I don't have your phone number. I don't have your address. Jewel, I have your address though. So Nicole, I need your address if you want me to send this pretty card to you. Okay? So that one's for Nicole. Da-da-da-da. Drum roll, please. So pretty. I love it. I just want to stare at it. Yay, Jewel's watching. Okay, next one is Barbara Moynan. You are the lucky winner of this card. Barbara Moynan. Congratulations. Look at the inside. It's got a little pine cone. I have your address. You're one of my newbies. I love it. Congratulations, girl. All right. Drum roll, please. And I love this one too, you guys. I love these cards. These pine bow cards, pine cone, whatever. Winner chicken dinner, Tabitha Lemcule. You are the lucky winner of this card. Woohoo! I have your address. You just signed up too, so you guys were lucky. You got your names drawn for these cards. Okay, so the only gal is Nicole. I know you were on earlier today watching. I don't know if you still are. I need your address. I will publish this as congratulations to the winners in the morning. So you guys will see that. Again, that's scheduled at 7 a.m. all the time. I do not get up at 7 and publish things, guys. Promise you, I am sleeping. So, all right. What's next then? November 29th, a week from tonight. You guys, Kelly is going to be doing the paper pumpkin class. I don't believe I have any of those. I only ordered 2 extra of those and they already gone. They're out the door. So I think Susie Snow got one, and I got. You're probably. I'm like, it's on the top of my head. I was like, who's the other one? Oh, I will remember. I just on the whim's notice. I shouldn't have tried to remember because that's when you can't remember. So, all right, you guys. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Make sure you spend some time, if you can, with your loved ones and eating some good food. I'm going to my mom and dad's for Thanksgiving at noon. She has done Thanksgiving at noon for my entire life. If you're there, you're there. If you're not, you're not. And so I always try to make it at noon. And so that's where we'll be. Hi, Yvette Lobajeski. So that's what we'll be for noon. And then hopefully playing some games with my brother. So, all right. Hi, Feline. So good to see you. Pop in for a little bit. You guys, lots of sunshine, love, and hugs to you guys. We will see you later. Have a good rest of your week. Bye, guys.